Good evening. What started out as a peaceful protest turned into a near riot last night as more than 1,000 Illinois State University students staged a stormy demonstration against the town's mass gathering ordinance. Several people were injured and 4 were arrested as students demonstrated through the town to City Hall. TV 10's Jay Groves has more.
It wasn't until early this morning until police wearing riot gear and throwing tear gas canisters were able to disperse the more than 1,000 Illinois State University students who were protesting Normal's party control laws. The protest started out calmly with about 200 students rallying on the campus quad. But the demonstration then moved out onto the streets of Normal, and as the number of demonstrators grew, the mood turned more violent.
It's a quasi-Nazi type party that runs our city, that's stepping all over the rights of the citizens. We're trying to tell these people that we don't like what's going on.
In downtown Normal, protesters threw beer cans and rocks and uprooted several signs. They did the same at Normal City Hall. In all, more than $6,500 in damage. When Police Chief David Lair met the protesters at City Hall, he tried to talk, but without much success.
There's been one arrest made in this town for a violation of the mass gathering order. Not one. Wait a minute.
What about the 1003 when they busted a couple guys pouring on university liquors?
That's the transportation of keg law. We got to talk about one thing at a time.
After the demonstration left City Hall, a sit-in was staged in downtown Normal. Police again tried to drive the crowd back and were again met by shouts and rock throwing. ISU President Lloyd Watkins also tried to subdue the crowd, and other officials were upset by the presence of the news media, saying they helped incite the students. The entire protest lasted about 7 hours, ended in several minor injuries and 4 arrests. Jay Groves, TV 10 News.
Officials today are reacting with outrage to the ISU student riot over the mass gathering ordinance. While damage to the Normal City property can be repaired, officials say the damage done to the city's and university's reputation may not be. Protesting last night were attempting to force the town of Normal into rescinding its mass gathering ordinance. But student body president Jeff Charnogorski says they were ineffective and should look for other ways to protest city ordinances.
I am not condoning violence, and neither is the Student Body Board of Directors. It is my hope that the anger displayed last night can be directed into more productive channels. I don't think the student rally that we had right now is going to change things.
Charnogorski says if students register to vote and elect city officials to aid their cause, they would have a much better chance at overcoming the party problem. But right now, students are too emotionally charged.
Last night, there's no one can control a crowd of that size when it gets,
Is there anything...
The emotion's running real high with this issue. That's the problem right now.
City officials are emotionally charged now as well. Normal Mayor Richard Godfrey says students hurt themselves even more than they have hurt the city.
They have damaged the reputation of the university. They have done themselves a disservice if they ever expect to have a degree from this university, because they've severely damaged the very degrees that people earn at this institution, because this story has had nationwide ramifications.
ISU President Lloyd Watkins says that only a small percentage of students were involved in the demonstration, and action will be taken against those found responsible for the riot. Some students have started a collection to pay for some of the damages to the city's property, but Mayor Godfrey says the students owe the city a little bit more than that.
Well, I think the students owe the people of this city an apology. I think they owe them an apology for disrupting their community, and when I say their community, it's the students' community too.
Officials say they are concerned over the possibility of another problem tonight, but no additional security measures have been added.
ISU students are reacting pessimistically to last night's protest. While some said that most of the protesters were marching for a valid complaint, others said that many were there just to damage property. Many students said that while this incident may cause drastic measures to be taken against them, it did show the city that they are tired of not having a voice in policies that affect them. TV 10 spoke with ISU students on the campus today.
The idea behind the original rally was a good idea, and they said what they had to say, but after they started breaking stuff and throwing stuff around, you'd lose. There was no point to that. I think the people who were breaking stuff and smashing windows, they didn't care about the party problem or anything. They just wanted to break some windows.
We've had enough. That you can't try and tell the students you can't do this to the extent that they've tried to do. And I don't know that they've probably reached their goal. I think they just wanted to show City Normal just how angry they've become.
Protest, I think, was to try and get the City of Normal and the City Council to understand that the students don't like all the sanctions and the party ordinance that's happened this summer without our being here. I don't think it achieved it at all. I think that what it was set out to do was to be peaceable, but at the end it turned out to be a riot.
We wanted to make a statement, and I really think they defeated the purpose by getting violent. But it started out really peaceful, and the main thing is that the City of Normal isn't listening, and they go and pass ordinances without even considering the students, and it's just really getting out of hand. And they want to be heard, and nobody's really listening.
Most of the students said that the town of Normal is overreacting to the whole student party issue. They said that if the march was peaceful, the message would have worked, but it just got out of hand.